Have you ever dreamt of owning an IPL team? Well, if the Chennai Super Kings is concerned, the way they have valued their company, maybe you too could own an IPL team. Chennai Super Kings, in their valuation of their own company as far as a sales transfer agreement, value their company at 5 lakh rupees. You don't even get a house for that amount in the national capital. Another big controversy has hit the IPL. A controversy involving cricketing czar N.Srinivasan, his company India Cements and the Chennai Super Kings. It's a Headlines Today exclusive. The controversy revolves around the valuation of Chennai Super Kings team, a team which has won the IPL twice, was a runners-up thrice, boasts of stars like Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Ravindra Jadeja, Brendan McCullum, Michael Hussey. This team has been valued by its owners at just 5 lakh rupees. Yes, you heard it right. They have valued the team at just 5 lakh rupees. So what really is this controversy? Absurd as it may sound, that's the amount the team was sold by India Cements to a subsidiary in February this particular year. Now that was our exclusive number one. Exclusive number two is the fact that the IPL Governing Council has refused to accept this particular valuation. They have refused to ratify this sale deed of the Chennai Super Kings. The BCCI rules state that 5% of the team sale price must be given to the board, and this valuation should mean that the board earns, according to this sale agreement, the board will earn just 25,000 rupees from the CSK team sale. Shockingly, the old council, which held its meeting in February 2015, did not question the absurdity, the absolute absurdity in this pricing. It was only after the new IPL council took charge under the Supreme Court's directions that the issue was red flagged in a meeting 2 days ago on Monday. Now, Headlines Today has the minutes of that old council meeting to prove how everyone towed a certain line. The owner's valuation comes even as a US-based consultancy valued the team at 450 crore rupees last year. Just imagine, a team which was valued at 450 crores last year is only worth 5 lakh rupees as far as those owners are concerned. Now, these are, of course, the key points that you need to know as far as this particular story is concerned. The big IPL controversy, independent valuations peg CSK as one of the most valued teams, expensive teams at 450 crore rupees, but a US-based consultancy had valued the CSK for over 450 crores in 2014, the point that we just told you. India Cements board vested CSK ownership to a subsidiary in February 2015, where they valued their team at 5 lakh rupees. That's really the story that Headlines Today is actually getting you right here. We have Chetan Chauhan here in the studio. We also have the minutes of that February Governing Council meeting of the Indian Premier League, and I would like to show this to our viewers. What really is that contentious point that we are talking about? This point on page number 3 of the Governing Council meeting actually mentions the story. It says that CSKCL is agreeable to pay 5% of the sale price of the proposed transfer, being 5% of 5 lakh rupees to the BCCI as per clause 10.4 of the franchisee agreement. So here is a case where the Chennai Super Kings has valued itself at 5 lakh rupees and it's willing, as per rule, to pay 5% to the BCCI as part of that franchisee agreement. Mr. Chetan Chauhan, for the past 1 hour we have been discussing this story. You've been here with us in the studio. Don't you think that this is yet another example of how there was a family, there was Mr. Srinivasan, and there were others, a coterie that was running the BCCI or the IPL in a particular fashion? And remember, this is February 2015. This is after the Mudgal Committee report. This is after the entire Clean Our Cricket campaign. This is after the Supreme Court had actually stepped in. After all of that, you had something like this going on, which the present Governing Council said, no, it cannot be done.
Well, as I said before, the present Governing Council has done a very wise thing. They have taken a right decision by rejecting this transfer, and I think the proposal should go back again to the owners of CSK, and a fresh proposal may come, or maybe the BCCI may under the direction of the Supreme Court, or maybe under the committee which is there, which is looking into all this affairs of the conflict of interest, appoint an outside agency and value the the CSK. I think that is the best. That is the best thing, and it will be in the interest of everybody, in the interest of CSK as well as in the interest of cricket, in the interest of the BCCI, and whatever is the value, I think the lawful percentage of that money should come to the BCCI. In case something different happens to this, I'm sure it'll be something, it'll be serious, and it'll be under the scrutiny of the committee and also under the scrutiny of the Supreme Court.
Absolutely. Let's just quickly, for the benefit of our viewers, give you a little backgrounder as far as this particular case is concerned. In January this year, Supreme Court ruled that BCCI officials had to pick between running cricket or owning teams. Since N.Srinivasan was accused of conflict of interest, the court order prompted the transfer of CSK ownership. This led to India Cements Board vesting ownership to CSK to a fully owned subsidiary in February this year. Accordingly, IPL franchisee CSK was transferred to a subsidiary called Chennai Super Kings Cricket Limited. India Cements Board decided the subsidiary will be owned by existing shareholders on a proportionate basis. 70% India Cements shares are held by public promoters, 28%. Now, promoters hold 28% and Srinivasan holds 0.14% of those shares. Now, the decision to transfer these shares came after the Supreme Court ruling said BCCI officials owning teams was conflict of interest. Now, let me come across to you, Boria. Despite the fact that the Supreme Court said, first of all, this entire transfer of sale or transfer of ownership actually took because the Supreme Court said that this is a case of conflict of interest. Despite that, look at the brazenness. Despite that, you have now a situation where the present owners of the Chennai Super Kings were trying to transfer, trying to step aside, as Mr. N.Srinivasan had said once, but in this particular fashion.
Sanket, first things first. The meeting is from the 27th of February, right? The Governing Council minutes.
Absolutely.
Who are the Governing Council members who have ratified it? First, let's take these names on air, because these are the people who will have to be accountable and tell the country how did they approve this 5 lakh transfer value being ascertained. 1. Ranjiv Biswal. He was the chairman. He needs to tell us. 2. Sundar Raman, IPL CEO under investigation. He needs to tell us. 3. PC Matthew of the Kerala Cricket Association. He needs to tell us. 4. Arindam Ganguly of Tripura Cricket Association. He needs to tell us. Chetan Desai of Goa Cricket Association, currently head of the BCCI's marketing committee. He needs to tell us, was he aware? Was he not aware? If he was aware, how did he allow this to pass through? If he was not aware, how is it that it has now been put into the Governing Council minutes? 6. Subir Ganguly of the Cricket Association of Bengal. He was a
very
part
important
of the
that you mention these
of the Governing Council, also the current dispensation of the Governing Council. Are these members aware of this valuation? Yes or no? If they are aware, how did they allow this to pass? If they are not aware, how is it that it has been included in the minutes of the Governing Council meeting? If they are not aware, and sources tell me that Chetan Desai was not aware that these figures would be put in, then there is a clear case of violation of rules and spirit. Then the IPL
No, that is not true.
Put these minutes
Boria,
for sanction will have to be answered.
Boria, that cannot be true because this document is proof. And I'll ask the cameraman to just zoom in so that I can actually show you. This is, of course, I'm going back to the minutes that I have in my possession. Minutes of the IPL Governing Council meeting held on the 27th of February 2015 at 1 p.m. at ITC Sheraton Park, Chennai. Now look at the list of members who are present. It says these were the members, Mr. Chauhan, who were present. Look at the names. Ranjiv Biswal, Chetan Desai, Subir Ganguly, TC Matthew, Amitabh Chaudhary, Arindam Ganguly, Dr. Ganga Raju, Mr. CK Khanna, Sanjay Patel, Anirudh Chaudhary and Sundar Raman. These were people who were present in this meeting when this decision was taken, Boria. It's all documented.
Of course, and these, Sanket, that is the point that I am trying to tell you, that these are the members who are accountable for this decision. Now question is, because once this story was put out, I am getting constant messages from the BCCI and people who are saying they weren't aware. Now if they weren't aware, it actually raises a much more sinister question. That if they weren't aware, how is it that these minutes came to this Governing Council day before yesterday in Delhi? So these members need to come clean. 1. Chetan Desai, who is now the BCCI marketing committee head, needs to come clean and tell us, was he aware that a governing council, which of he was part, fixed Chennai Super Kings transfer value at 5 lakhs? Subir Ganguly, part of the previous governing council and the current governing council, was he aware that Chennai Super Kings value was fixed at 5 lakhs? Current governing council, Ajay Shirke, Jyotiraditya Scindia, Rajiv Shukla chairman, Saurav Ganguly, these people need to tell us that previous governing council, how did it sanction this? You know, it's a big case, Sanket. Ranjiv Biswal and the others need to tell us. They're all board members. How is it that they are allowing the BCCI to lose a figure between 25 and 50 crores and allowing 25,000 to be deposited in the BCCI coffers? This is a case of a serious loss to the board, and each of these people need to be answerable.
More than that, Boria, if you go by the reactions that we are getting on the internet, on social networking websites, by the way, this hashtag CSK for 5 lakhs is already a trending subject as far as India is concerned. It's being much talked about because what people find amusing, Boria, is the fact that the biggest team in the IPL is worth just 5 lakh rupees.
Of course, Sanket, I mean, that is the point, that you can actually go and own Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Suresh Raina and Brendan McCullum and Dwayne Bravo for 5 lakhs. Mahendra Singh Dhoni gets a price of 10 crore plus. Suresh Raina gets a price of 10 crore plus. So the team, look, $9 million is what is permitted to buy players. So effectively we're talking about close to 40-45 crores just for the money spent on players. And you're actually talking of ownership for 5 lakh rupees. This is absolutely absurd. There must be something in here. What is it? You know, the 25,000 rupees that has been paid to the board, is it a case that you did not want to pay money? We are not imputing any motive on anybody. We are saying the previous governing council, and we are naming them from that list: Ranjiv Biswal, Chetan Desai, T.C. Matthew, Arindam Ganguly, Subir Ganguly. They need to come out and tell us, were they aware? Question is very simple. Were they aware of this transfer value for 5 lakh rupees? If they were, how did they allow? If they were not, how is it that this transfer value has been placed?
That's right. Let me quickly reiterate once again the fact that all those people who are now turning around and saying that they were not present in this particular meeting, Chetanji, their names exist on this particular piece of document. Either they can find fault in this document, which clearly mentions their name. It says members present. This is from the board meeting that was held on the 27th of February 2015 of the governing council. These are the names of the members who were present. These include Ranjiv Biswal, Chetan Desai, Shubir Ganguly, T.C. Matthew, Amitabh Chaudhary, Arindam Ganguly, Dr. Ganga Raju, Mr. C.K. Khanna, Sanjay Patel, Anirudh Chaudhary and Sundar Raman. Now either this document is lying or perhaps there were ghosts in that particular meeting. One really doesn't know who's actually speaking the truth, because we are going by the documents that we have at this moment, and it will be interesting if those people who have in fact been named to be present in this particular meeting when this decision was actually taken were to come out and explain their position, what they actually want to say. We'll be more than happy to air their views here on Headlines Today. Short break at this moment. Be back with a lot more. This particular exclusive breaking news story as well as other news and updates right here. Next story that we are tracking at this moment, the IPL exclusive Chennai Super Kings has valued itself at 5 lakh rupees. That's the exclusive story that we are getting you at this moment. This is the big IPL controversy at this moment, an absurd valuation as far as the team is concerned. Now, how did this story came into light? There is a document that is in the possession of Headlines Today. This is, of course, the Governing Council meeting held on the 27th of February 2015 at 1 p.m. at ITC's Sheraton Park in Chennai. There were a couple of members of the Governing Council who were in attendance, which include Ranjiv Biswal, Chetan Desai, Shubir Ganguly, T.C. Matthew, Amitabh Chaudhary, Arindam Ganguly, Dr. Ganga Raju, Mr. C.K. Khanna, Sanjay Patel, Anirudh Chaudhary as well as Sundar Raman. These were people who were in attendance, in which it was decided, and the minutes mention very clearly. It says, this is point number 3 on page number 2, item number 3, legal update, sub-point A, Chennai Super Kings share transfer. According to point number 2, it says the CSKCL is agreeable to pay 5% of the sale price for the proposed transfer. In brackets, it says being 5% of 5 lakh rupees to the BCCI as per clause 10.4 of the franchisee agreement as far as the novation agreement is concerned. This is proof of the fact that the CSK valued itself at 5 lakh rupees and was willing to pay, as per the rule, 5% of that amount to the board. That amounts to just 25,000 rupees. This is a case of undervaluing a company. Only last year, a US-based evaluation firm valued the CSK, or the Chennai Super Kings, at 450 crore rupees. What explains in 1 year the valuation of a company coming down from 450 crore rupees to just 5 lakh rupees? Why has this been done? With what intention has this been done? Why are those people not coming out who were perhaps present in this particular meeting and clarify their particular position? They were in attendance in this particular meeting when this decision was actually taken. Boria, the latest governing council meeting that has been held at this moment decided that they are not going to ratify this decision of the previous governing council meeting.
Correct. And you know, if it was indeed ratified, from what I understand from my sources inside the governing council, chaired by Rajiv Shukla, that Ajay Shirke, Jyotiraditya Scindia, these were the people who raised a hue and cry saying this cannot be ratified because this is a clear violation, this is a discrepancy, this is unacceptable. The board is standing to lose anywhere between 25 to 50 crores, if not more. Just think about basic facts, Sanket. The last two IPL teams were sold for 1,700 and 1,500. So Chennai being the most successful, what will its value be? Ask any brand expert. So the BCCI here stands to lose. The point is simple. We need these BCCI members, the governing council members, to react. Ranjiv Biswal needs to tell us, was he aware? If he was aware, how did he let it pass? Sundar Raman, who is currently being investigated by the Supreme Court, he was present there, he is present here. He is the IPL CEO. It is his responsibility. Ultimately, the buck stops with him. The treasurer, Anirudh Chaudhary, he is supposed to be the custodian of the board. Anirudh Chaudhary, protecting the BCCI's coffers. He was present in the previous GC, as you mentioned. He is present in the current GC as well by virtue of the fact that he is treasurer. Will he allow these things to pass? From what I know, Amarchand Mangaldas was supposed to be the independent valuer. Was it done? If it was not done, why was it not done? We need to get reactions from these members, Sanket. This is public money we are talking about. Please remember, according to the Supreme Court, the BCCI now under Article 226 does disburse a public body. It's a public body, disburses a public function. Many questions for the BCCI members to answer.
Absolutely, many questions for the BCCI to answer at this moment. The absurdity in this case stares us in the face. We will in fact go across to Boria, as well as Rasesh Mandani joining us from Mumbai, as well as Srisha Reddy joining us from Chennai, getting us all the reactions. We are also wishing to hear from the Srinivasan family as well, what their reaction will possibly be on this story. A big IPL exclusive breaking story here on Headlines Today. We'll stay on top of this as it's trending #1. It's trending among the fastest trending stories on the internet at this moment, ever since we broke the story.